What if you could instantly tap into a brilliant intern or analyst for every sales email, every market trend analysis, or every brainstorming session? Most people think all these AI models are pretty much the same. But the truth is, choosing the right large language model for the right task can be the difference between spinning your wheels and absolutely crushing your sales and marketing goals for 2025. In the next few minutes, you'll discover which AI models are leading the pack for drafting a compelling outreach email, understanding how new deep research features can revolutionize your market analysis, and learn how to leverage those tools for powerful synthetic brainstorming. Plus, I'll give you my personal take on the top online models. I'll even show you how I use local LLMs to securely analyze sensitive documents. Hey everyone, Brad Norton here. If you're in sales or marketing and you're feeling overwhelmed by the sheer number of AI models out there, or maybe you've just wondered which ones are actually worth your time for specific tasks, trust me, you're not alone. I've spent years in this field constantly experimenting with new technologies, and recently, after virtually attending Google I/O 2025 and seeing the incredible advancements particularly around Google and Gemini and their new AI agents, a colleague asked me a simple question. Brad, with all this new stuff, what LLMs do you actually like and use? That question, combined with what I saw, really crystallized the need for this deep dive. Today, we're cutting through the noise and focusing on what works for professionals like us. Let's break down the real challenge here. Many sales and marketing professionals struggle with choosing the right AI tool because the landscape is evolving at lightning speed. We hear about ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek, local models, open source APIs. It's a lot. This isn't just about a surface level annoyance of which button to click. It often leads to wasted time on inefficient tools, subpar output that doesn't convert, missed opportunities from not leveraging the best research capabilities, and even a creeping anxiety that you're falling behind the curve. If you're using a generic AI for a specialized task, you're likely leaving results on the table. For example, using a model that's great for creative writing may not be the best for deep analytical market research, or vice versa. And if you're concerned about data privacy for sensitive research, using a generic general online tool without understanding its data policies can be a significant risk. Just think about the time spent redoing an AI's work. An outreach email that sounds robotic and gets 0 replies? That's not just a failed email. It's a lost lead, a missed connection. Market research that skims the surface and misses a critical emerging trend? That could mean your competitor gets the jump on a new opportunity. A brainstorming session that just rehashes old ideas? That's stagnation. And as I mentioned, uploading sensitive internal documents or proprietary research ideas to an online LLM without clear data privacy assurances is a non-starter for most of us, especially when it comes to our secret sauce or upcoming research projects. The cost of not understanding these nuances and choosing the right tool for the right job with the right security considerations is immense. But what if there's a more effective way to navigate this? Based on my continuous research, experimentation, and what was reinforced by the trends I saw at Google I/O, particularly the push towards more specialized and agentic AI, the key is task-specific LLM selection combined with a clear understanding of their strengths and weaknesses. This isn't about finding one AI to rule them all, but building a toolkit of preferred models for different jobs. My approach involves 4 core components. Number 1, defining the task clearly. Is it a creative outreach, deep analytical research, open-ended brainstorming, or securely documented Q&A sessions? Each requires different AI strengths. Number 2, understanding model architectures and training focuses. Some models, like Claude, are lauded for their natural language and ethical considerations. Others, like DeepSeek's R1, focus on logical reasoning. ChatGPT is often versatile all-rounder. Gemini is pushing the boundaries with multimodality and real-time data integration. 3, practical testing with real-world scenarios. I don't just rely on the spec sheets. I test these models with actual types of tasks we face daily. How does it draft a specific type of sales email? How well does it synthesize information for this kind of market report? Number 4, considering data security and privacy, especially for deep research involving proprietary data or brainstorming sensitive strategic ideas. I evaluate if an online model is appropriate or if a local LLM is mandatory. So, while having dinner with 2 of my colleagues and one asked me what LLMs I like, the answer isn't just one name. It's a strategy. For drafting outreach emails, I look for models that excel in natural language, tone adaptation, and personalization. For deep research on market trends, I need models with strong analytical capabilities, access to current information, and ideally features that support complex queries and synthesis of those deep research functions we're seeing. For synthetic brainstorming, especially for complex topics, I want models that can generate diverse and novel ideas, or even help structure problem solving. And finally, for RAG, retrieval augmented generation, with sensitive documents, local LLMs running on my own hardware are non-negotiable. Today we'll explore these specific use cases and see what practical tests and user experiences from 2025 tell us about the leaders in each category. Now, this isn't just theory. Let's look at what others have found in practical tests and what my own experience confirms. For drafting outreach emails, we've seen interesting comparisons. For instance, practical tests highlighted by Improvato in their 2025 review, while not solely focused on emails, gave clues. Claude often produced the most authentic tone and best headlines, avoiding AI cliches. This is critical for emails that need to feel personal and not robotic. On the other hand, ChatGPT, while versatile and good for incorporating relatable customer stories, could sometimes be technically accurate but uninspiring, if not carefully prompted. Gemini and DeepSeek chat models were occasionally found to be wordy. However, a more direct comparison for email drafting for work, DeepSeek actually outperformed Gemini, offering a more conversational and relatable tone and an engaging style. This aligns with the need for emails that connect rather than just inform. My takeaway? For a truly authentic and nuanced tone, especially for important communications, Claude is my first choice, especially 4.0 Sonnet. For more engaging conversational drafts where you need to stand out, DeepSeek shows surprising strength and actually gives output I can use on the first prompt. ChatGPT remains the go-to for versatile first drafts that you can then heavily refine. Gemini 2.0 Pro, especially within its workspace integration, might be the best for quick replies or emails where leveraging Google ecosystem data is a plus. For deep research on analyzing market trends, this is where the new deep research features from Google I/O and existing advanced capabilities come into play. The SE ranking review of ChatGPT's deep research feature found it good for automating complex, multi-step research, synthesizing detailed reports with citations. It's great for SEO competitor analysis. ZDNet also found its reports thorough. However, they also noted usage caps for ChatGPT Plus users and that accuracies can sometimes be an issue, requiring extensive human verification. Cascade Insights pointed out that transparency in source selection could be better. Google's answer, with Gemini Advanced and its own deep research capabilities and the upcoming Deep Think mode, aims to tackle some of this. Reviewers suggest Gemini's deep research can be more transparent in showing its reasoning and offers unlimited reports on the paid tier. It leverages Google Search for real-time information, which is a huge plus for market trends. Now, many of you may be wondering, what about DeepSeek R1? It came on the stage hot and fast at the beginning of this year, and it's also using a reasoning model. And it's a powerhouse for logical tasks, math and coding, but for autonomous web-based market trend reporting, in the same way as ChatGPT or Gemini's features, it seems less suited. SE Ranking described it as better for technical Q&A than more extensive web research. My personal take, from analyzing provided data sets or answering specific technical questions based on its training, R1 is fantastic and very cost-effective through connecting to it through its API. I personally use a link through Ollama and OpenWebUI, but for generating broad market trend reports from the web, the dedicated features in ChatGPT and Gemini are currently giving me the more tailored output from my very first prompt. Now, this is one of my favorite uses for AI. For synthetic brainstorming and ideation, AI is a fantastic partner here. ChatGPT is often praised as ideal for brainstorming a wide range of ideas due to its versatility. It scores highly in marketing idea generation benchmarks. However, you need to guide it with carefully crafted prompts to ensure diversity and avoid generic suggestions. Claude is excellent for developing more nuanced strategic concepts. Its thoughtful writing style helps in exploring complex problems deeply. For a specific sales-related challenge, Claude could help ideate on underlying causes and sophisticated solutions. Gemini, with its real-time data access, is very efficient for brainstorming areas related to current market conditions or competitor actions. You can download its results immediately to Google Docs. What about DeepSeek? The chat model surprisingly was noted by Imprivato for providing high ratio of actionable CRO recommendations, which involves idea generation. So, for specific optimization brainstorming, it has potential. In my personal experience, DeepSeek R1, the reasoner, is different. It's less about free-flowing creative ideas and more about logical problem solving. If your research involves dissecting a specific process bottleneck and finding logical solutions, R1 could very powerfully do that kind of structural ideation. Zartis specifically noted, and I also have seen firsthand, that for creative brainstorming, GPT-4o or Claude might be better, as R1 is optimized for logic and code. My approach is often to use multiple models. ChatGPT for initial broad idea dumps, Claude to refine and deepen the most promising concepts, and perhaps DeepSeek R1 if I need a logical breakdown of a very specific technical or process-oriented aspect. The key, as always, is asking the right question in your prompt and combining AI's breadth with human depth and critical thinking. For local LLM retrieval augmented generation, also called RAG analysis, which is using an LLM to help ask questions of important documents. This is where data privacy and control are paramount. I use a local LLM running on my RTX 4090 desktop for this. The goal is to ask questions of my own documents, research papers, internal reports, sensitive data, without that information ever leaving my system or being used for external model training. The 14b parameter models like Qwen3 14b, DeepSeek 14b variants, and Phi3 medium 14b are prime candidates here because they offer a good balance of capabilities and can run with quantization on a 24 gigabyte VRAM setup like I have. Now, finding specific direct comparative RAG quality benchmarks, for example, faithfulness and retrieval accuracy for these models on a 4090 setup is incredibly challenging. Most public benchmarks focus on general model capabilities or raw generation speed, not the nuances of RAG performance on specific high-end consumer hardware. However, I did piece things together. Users on Reddit's rLocalLlama discuss their experiences. For instance, one very insightful RAG comparison found Qwen3 14b to be excellent for agentic RAG tasks. The user noted it produced well-structured and complete answers, had no hallucinations, and showed excellent instruction following, even comparing it favorably to Gemini 2.5 Pro in their specific RAG pipeline. This is a strong positive indicator for Qwen in a RAG context. Qwen models also often boast large context windows, which is beneficial. For DeepSeek Coder/Chat 14b variants, Tutorials from Data Camp and Firecrawl show how to set them up with Ollama and LangChain for RAG, highlighting the ease of integration and data privacy benefits. Now, this is the method I personally use, and then I combine it with Open Web UI so I have a nice, easy-to-use GUI. DeepSeek models are known for strong reasoning and coding, which can be very helpful in interpreting and synthesizing information from technical documents in a RAG system. Phi3 Medium 14b offers a 128 kilobyte context window, which is great for RAG as it can handle more retrieval information. However, in that same RAG comparison I mentioned, a smaller Phi model, unfortunately Phi4 Mini reasoning, performed very poorly, hallucinating significantly. This doesn't mean Phi3 Medium 14b will do the same, but it underscores the need for careful testing of any model that you use for your specific RAG setup. The challenge with local RAG isn't just the model, it's the entire pipeline. The embedding model, the chunking strategy, the retriever, and then the LLM's ability to faithfully use the retrieved context. My experience is that a well-configured RAG pipeline with a decent 14b model, like Qwen 3 variants, can provide excellent results for querying internal documents securely. The key is meticulous setup and testing. So, how can you start implementing this task-specific LLM strategy today, especially with all of these new Google I/O announcements in mind? Here's a simple blueprint. First step, identify your top 2 to 3 high-impact sales or marketing tasks. Where do you spend the most time, or where could AI provide the biggest leverage? Is it drafting outreach emails, analyzing competitor strategies, brainstorming new campaign ideas, or perhaps securely querying internal knowledge bases? Be specific. Step 2, test 2 to 3 promising models for each task. Don't assume one model fits all. For outreach emails, try Claude for tone and DeepSeek Chat for engagement. Compare with ChatGPT Draft. Focus on personalization and clarity. For market trend analysis, if you have access, test ChatGPT's deep research feature against Google's advanced research capabilities. For analyzing existing data you provide, try DeepSeek R1's API. For brainstorming, use ChatGPT for broad ideation. Try Claude for developing deeper strategic concepts. If you have a very logical problem with a specific analysis type, see how well DeepSeek R1 approaches it. For local RAG, if data privacy is key, and if you have the right hardware, make sure you have 24 gigabytes of VRAM, start with Ollama and try setting up a RAG pipeline with Qwen 3 14b or a DeepSeek Coder 14b variant. Use a small set of your own documents and test retrieval accuracy and answer faithfulness rigorously. Third step, evaluate based on output quality and task fit, not just hype. Does the output actually save you time and improve your results? Is the tone right? Is the information accurate? That's critical, by the way. Is it secure when it needs to be secure? Pro tip and common pitfall to avoid, don't get caught up in just chasing the newest model. While Google I/O showcased amazing achievements with Gemini 2.5 and new agentic capabilities, the fundamentals of matching the tool to the task remain. Also avoid generic prompts. The more context and clear instructions you give these LLMs, the better their output will be. Remember, many of the new Google AI features, especially in search and ads, will also change how your audience finds you, so adapt your content strategies accordingly. I personally follow Google's experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness framework when I evaluate models. To make this even easier, I've created a downloadable LLM selection checklist that walks you through key questions to ask when choosing an AI for different tasks. You can find the link in the description below. If you're finding this deep dive into the practical applications of LLMs valuable, and you want to stay ahead of the curve in leveraging AI for your next task, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. We release videos on this 3 times a month, packed with actionable insights you won't want to miss. So, quick recap. We covered how different LLMs like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and DeepSeek perform in practical tests for email drafting, the power of new deep research features for market analysis, strategies for using AI in brainstorming, and the nuances of setting up local LLMs for secure RAG. The most important thing is to start experimenting strategically and find the combination of tools that best supercharges your workflow. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, in the age of AI, the most effective professionals will be those who understand how to best partner with these incredible tools. Keep innovating, stay curious, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. I am trying to read today and I'm failing miserably at doing it. I know. I don't know where the doohickey went. I'll have to print a new one. Would you turn it so it's closed because it's reflecting right off of this? Well, this is a unique time. It is now, 7 o'clock.